Yeah, it's another Reaction Thursday for you guys today. Today we're going to talk about how to tackle somebody smaller and faster than you. Another film study. I did a video on this before, but now I really want to go in depth, really explain a little more about what you're doing and really a step-by-step tutorial. I do apologize for that. That is my smoke detector. I've been having some difficulties with that. So first and foremost, we're going to watch Landon Collins. He is a great example, especially when he was at Alabama, of tackling smaller and quicker players, especially in the open field or at a time that he had to grab him. So like this is we really got to pay attention to, and we have to understand the track to where the ball carrier is at and where we're trying to get him at. Are we angle? Is it an angle tackle? Is it, we're not even going to focus on is it an angle tackle or not. We're really going to focus on two things. If it's closed field where it's like we're filling a hole or there's a lot of people around, it's just you and the ball carrier, or is it open field where it's like the ball carrier has a lot of space and he could go anywhere around this field and it's just you and him, and if you miss this tackle, it's a touchdown. Those are two totally different scenarios, and you want to do two totally different things on those type of scenarios. So first and foremost, let's get into it. Our shoulder placement and our aiming has to be right as well. And the clip that we're going to watch first is here at 257. When you are aiming at your shoulder placement, you want your shoulder placement to be low enough that you could really get into the ball carrier, but you don't want your shoulder placement to be too high. So like a lot of times when you're hitting smaller players, when you aim too high, you end up getting exactly where you need to be. Because if you are aiming, if let's say you're trying to hit a smaller player and you're trying to hit them around the hips region, as soon as you try to hit them around their hips, you're going to hit the ankles, shins, and then people's gonna be like, oh, you an ankle grabber, blah blah blah. I got screamed at that a lot when I was younger, but the problem was I had a guy a little taller and I was just aiming a little lower. So it's like I'm aiming at your hips, but it's like this guy's so little, I gotta like really get low. So pay attention to what Landon Collins does here. He sees this guy come across the middle for Southern Miss, I believe, and he aims and he gets him down. Now look, I went back a little too far, but this guy, now I'm gonna pause it. Look at his position. He's in great position. He starts to break down, and once he sees him in his clear, he doesn't break down to the point that he stops. That's what I want y'all to understand. When you're breaking down in these open field tackles, breaking down these scenarios, you don't want to stop completely. Stopping completely is not what you want to do. And he's just slowing down. So he's bracing himself for the hit, kind of. And it's not really a slowdown. You're just getting your feet under you and you're getting in more control. And look how he aims. He aims right at his chest. Now he probably aims for the chest, ends up hitting him in the stomach. That's good money. That's what we want. That's every time that's going to be a win. And let's look at the next clip. The next clip, similar type of ordeal. We gotta make sure the shoulder placement's right. That's everything in this game. And Ole Miss, they throw this hitch to I think this is Laquan Treadwell. I believe this has been a while. So he breaks down and he gets him down. Now, granted, he was a little out of control, but, and this is the last thing we're going to talk about, his 1-2. 1-2, I had said it in a couple of videos, but I said it in some, like maybe a month back. 1-2 is those last two steps you take before you explode into a ball carrier for the tackle. That's very important to know, because we got to make sure we're taking advantage of this. We want to make sure we're getting everything into these tackles. And let's just look at this again. He sees him. Now 1-2. Now look, his 1-2 wasn't the greatest, because he's like, oh, I gave him a two-way go. And in terms of a two-way go, what I mean is he lost the leverage. So like, okay, if you pay attention again, he's coming from the inside. Now, I'm going to slow this down even further because I want you guys to understand. I want you guys to see how he comes. He's not coming at him straight up. He comes at him from the inside. Now, when he comes at him from the inside, now he's looking like, okay, I want to come at him from the inside. I want to make sure he tries to go outside. But the problem was Laquan Treadwell, he's an NFL receiver. At this point, he's top receiver, probably in the SEC. So he sees him and he's like, I'm going to create a two-way go. I can't let him hit me flush like this. And that kind of messed Landon Collins up. Now his 1-2 kind of got messed up because he started trying to stop himself and start trying to brace himself, trying to get his feet under him. Now, granted, in that position, that's not what we want. That's actually a sticky situation that you're going to get caught in sometimes. And at that point, you don't really want to stop. Like when you're stopping like that, it's hard. You're not going to make the tackle. It's going to be tough for you to make the tackle. Like, and just like here with Landon Collins, he barely makes the tackle. Like, he gets the tackle because he wraps him up very well. But that's not a sound tackle. And in scenarios like that, and being problem solvers on that field, being defenders, he gets them down. That's good work. That's good money. I'll take that every time. But it just doesn't look pretty. And sometimes you have to understand that it's not going to be looking pretty. And now look, this is the last two clips we got. And I want you guys to pay attention here. Look how they get this sweep. And he literally, remember we talked about leverage. He's coming from the inside. So he's like, I'm not letting him cut back across my face. So he's not letting him cut inside. And this running back had no choice. The running back literally was like, you could kind of see he stopped. He stopped mid-run. He was just like, I really don't have no choice. I'm going to speed it up a little because I was a little too slow. But look, he literally, because he's like, I have no choice. He literally stopped. He didn't know what to do. He had no choice. He bangs him good, solid tackle. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. So everybody got in on that tackle. That's good job. It's good money. And the last clip. Let's get into this last clip. And I want you guys to pay attention. Like, pay attention to the things we've talked about today. Like, we understand how we're going to get to the ball carrier for inside or outside, these leverages, and we want to make sure that we're not giving up that leverage. So if you're coming from the ball carrier's inside, don't let him cut across your face. That's not what we want. And here's the last clip. Now this is just, he comes off this edge and he just makes this tackle. That's just dog type time. You know what I'm saying? And understand, once again, last but not least, we're going to talk about the shoulder placement. Look how he blitz. He comes across. He sees him. He's a little smaller. He aims for the stomach, ends up at the hips. Good hit. Happens. And he wraps. That's good money. So remember, understand the track to get the ball carrier. So if you're coming from an angle, understand where you have the leverage. If you're coming from the inside, don't let them cut inside. If you're coming from the outside, don't let them get outside. These are big things to make sure when you're trying to tackle them. Also, make sure you understand if it's a closed field or open field. Open field tackles are a lot tougher, but open field tackles are easier when you understand the leverage. Don't let them come across your face. Shoulder placement, understand you want to hit guys, smaller guys, a little higher than you may expect. So try to aim for the chest. You'll probably hit them in the stomach. Aim for the stomach. You'll hit them in the hip region. And last but not least, we want to make sure that 1-2 is together. Those are the last two steps before contact. Them last two steps before contact, you want to really gain your power there and explode into the ball carrier. Peace.
Check this video out on the screen if you want to be mean on that green, or real on that field, or extort on that court. The No Baller Left Behind Act supports this video. You feel me?